components. I hope you have clear with the structure of prokaryotic cell. The prokaryotic cell is much different from the eukaryotic cell. Okay, how this prokaryotic cell is look like? What are the important components of prokaryotic cell we have discussed in previous lectures. And today we are going to start with the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell or the cell which is bound by the plasma membrane and encloses a bit of protoplast with it. The major components of the cell are the cell membrane, cytoplasm and the nucleus. And the nucleus is the most important characteristic feature of the eukaryotic, that is the membrane bound nucleus they are having. Okay, we are going to discuss about it in detail. Now, in eukaryotic cell, a complete set of genetic instructions is found in the DNA molecules, which exist as a multiple linear structures called as the chromosomes that are confined within the nucleus, and the nucleus is enclosed by the nuclear membrane. The eukaryotic cells are also contain other membrane bound organelles with it in the cytoplasm. These components are again membrane bound, either single membrane or the double membrane they are including. Okay. These subcellular structures vary tremendously in structure as well as in function. They are having the various structures, various functions in the eukaryotic cell. Clear? Now this eukaryotic cell possesses a kind of cell organelle. What are their detailed structures we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. Okay. Eukaryotic cells are basically divided into two categories, that is plant cell and the animal cell. In the animal cell, the outer boundary or the cell membrane is the outermost membrane, while in plant cell they have an additional outermost covering, that is the cell wall. Clear? Because of the cell wall, the plant cells are having the definite shape, while the animal cells do not have, and they are much fragile than the plant cell. Clear? While they have the certain common features like plasma membrane, cytoplasm, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, lysosomes, nucleus they are having. Clear? But there are certain differences between the plant cell and the animal cell also. Now see, these are the some differences you might have studied in the lower classes. Okay, the cell wall present in plant cell, the vacuoles are larger, the plastids are present, the Golgi bodies are present in the form of many units. We call them as the dictyosomes. The centrosome or the centrioles is absent in the plant cell. Clear? See, these are the basic differences between the plant cell and the animal cell. Now, the plant cells differ in several key features from the cells of other eukaryotic organisms. A cell wall is composed of the cellulose or the hemicellulose, pectin, and in many cases it is lignified, and it is secreted by the protoplast on the outside of the cell membrane. It contrasts this contrast with the cell walls of fungi, which are made up of the chitin, and of the bacteria they are made up of the peptidoglycan. The cell wall is rigid, transparent, permeable, having pits or pores. The cell wall protects the protoplast against the loss of water. We have seen in lower classes about the endosmosis as well as in exosmosis what happens. Clear? It provides the mechanical strength and support to the cell. It is differentiated into three layers, that is the primary cell wall, which is cellulosic, delicate, and it's 1 to 3 micron thick. First deposition product of the protoplasm, that is parenchyma, meristematic cells, unicellular forms, have only primary cell wall. Okay, while the secondary cell wall is more than 4 micrometer thick and consists of the cellulose, hemicellulose and the lignin. It is deposited uniformly in leaves, unthickened areas of the pits. Though pits cytoplasmic strands known as the plasmodesmatas pass from one cell to another cell and connect the endoplasmic reticulum and the cytoplasm of two neighboring cells, which allows the exchange of materials amongst the cell. This is specialized cell to cell communication through cell junctions or peats. Besides the cell junctions, some protein molecules are there in between the cells of a tissue for binding cells together. These protein molecules are called as the cell adhesion molecules or CAMs. The middle lamellae is cementing layer present between the two cells, consisting of the calcium and magnesium molecules and the cellulose. It is sticky, gel-like and swells with water and join into two cells, which is acting as a cementing substance between the two. Clear? The young plant cells are completely filled by cytoplasm. They are having the dense cytoplasm, having many small vacuoles and the nucleus in the center. These small vacuoles later on fuse to form the single large vacuole, pushing aside the cytoplasm and nucleus towards the cell wall. This is the basic difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. The animal cell have a centrally placed nucleus, while in plant cell the nucleus is put aside or towards the cell wall. Clear? In mature cells, a large central cavity or the vacuole enclosed by a delicate membrane or tonoplast is present. The vacuole is filled up with the sap, or we call it as a cell sap, help in the excretion of the waste and the excess water. The cell sap has many organic and inorganic substances into that. Clear? So this is all about your cell wall. Okay. The cytoplasm and the cell organelles. The cytoplasm is the protoplasm outside the nucleus. The cytoplasm has two parts, that is cytosol and the cell organelles. The cytosol is jelly-like, optically clear, colloidal or viscous fluid in which the granules or the fibrils are suspended. It is the living structure of the cell. That's why it is also called as the protoplasm. And most reactions takes place in this cytosol only. The chemical composition consists of the 90% water, protein, carbohydrates, lipids and some inorganic ions are also present in this cytosol. Okay. The plasma membrane is present between the cell wall and the cytoplasm. In case of the plant cell, it is present between the cell wall and cytoplasm. But in animal cell, it is the outermost covering or enclosing the cytoplasm of the cell. Clear? It is delicate, semi-permeable, and permeability depends upon the sociological state of the cell and the size and nature of molecules. The plasma membrane regulates the flow of water and other organic and inorganic molecules throughout it. This plasma membrane is selectively permeable. We have seen its semi-permeable or selectively permeable nature. Now, why they are having the semi-permeable nature? Now, we are going to understand in this particular topic. The fluid mosaic model was proposed by Sanger and Nicholson in 1972. They proposed the fluid mosaic model for describing the structure and the thermodynamics of the plasma membrane. Means they proposed a model which was then later called as the fluid mosaic model for describing the structure and thermodynamics of the plasma membrane. The bilayer of the phospholipids form the core of the plasma membrane. The proteins are embedded randomly or peripherally or internal portions of the bilayer. The bilayer has a fluid consistency. This is not rigid. That's why they are called as the fluid mosaic model, or this model is later called as the fluid mosaic model due to the unsaturated fatty acids in the phospholipid bilayer. See, this is the structure of the plasma membrane. You might have seen in the lower classes also about this structure. See, this is the lipid bilayer. Phospholipid bilayer is present here. The phospholipid layer, it is consisting of the two layers, that is one phospholipid bilayer. Why it is called as the two layers are present? Phospholipid. This orange color ends, these are called as the phosphate ends, or these are the hydrophilic end. And this tails or this elongations, if you see like tail like structures, these are the hydrophobic fatty acid ends, which are hydrophobic in nature. Hydrophobic means towards they are having affinity towards the affinity towards the oils. They are not ended towards the water. That's why they are intact between the phosphate ends of the bilayer. Okay, see, this is the structure of the plasma membrane, actual structure of the plasma membrane. They are having some intrinsic protein. Intrinsic means the internal proteins. Some extrinsic means they are outside the plasma membrane, either on the cell side, either at the side of cytoplasm or at the side of the outer environment. And they are having this carrier proteins also. See, these are the carrier proteins or the channel proteins. This peripheral proteins, carrier proteins are present, channel proteins are present, which actually channel proteins, they form the channel, and the carrier proteins, they collect or attach to the substance and carry it inside the cytoplasm. That's why they are called as the carrier proteins. Clear? While there are some intrinsic proteins also which allow the entry of the certain substances. Clear? This is all about the structure of the plasma membrane. See, this is the simplified diagrammatic structure of the fluid mosaic model. Clear? The C phase or the cytoplasm phase, and the E phase means exoplasm, outside the cytoplasm. This is phospholipid bilayer. Internal proteins are there. The intrinsic proteins are there. Extrinsic proteins or peripheral proteins are there, which forms the intrinsic proteins. They form the internal proteins, or intrinsic proteins, they form the channels and allow the entry of exit of certain substances inside as well as the outside of the cell. This is all about the fluid mosaic model proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. The cell organelles of cytoplasm are related with different functions. They perform a particular function. Those that trap and release the energy, for example, plastids and mitochondria. Those that are secretory or are involved in the synthesis of the and transport of the materials like endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus. Organelles related to the motility like flagella and cilia. The suicidal bags, we call it as the lysosomes. The microbodies, the related cell division, related to the cell division like centrosomes and the centriole. And the cytoskeleton like microfilaments and the microtubules. And last but not the least, that is the nucleus, which controls all the activities of the cells and they carry the hereditary units. Clear? Now we will see one by one about each cell organelle. First we will start with the plastids. This is the largest cell organelle present in the plant cell. Clear? Except in blue-green algae and the fungi. They have the different structures for carrying the photosynthetic units. The plastids are not found in animal cells. The plastids are of three types, that is leucoplast, chromoplast and the chloroplast. Leucoplast, they are colorless plastids. They are having the main function to store the starch or the food. They are present in the cells of underground parts such as roots, tubers. They are present in. Clear? The chromoplast, colored plastids, they are particular to the red, orange, yellow or violet color. They are giving the they are present in the different pigments. They are consisting of the different pigments which provide them colors to the petals, flowers and the fruits. Clear? The chloroplast, we already know about this. Chloroplast, green plastids present in the mesophyll cells of the leaves, and the green stems containing these pigments as the chlorophyll, and that's why they are given the name chloroplast. Clear? The carotenoids for light harvesting are also present, and they are performing the photosynthesis process. The chloroplast is enveloped by double membrane sac. It encloses the proteinaceous matrix, that is stroma. We will see the structure of the plastid. The lamellar structure run in the matrix, and it is denser at certain places due to the pigments or grana stacked in a group of many. See, this is the structure of your plastid. The stroma, the internal double membrane to envelop outer as well as inner membrane is there. The stroma or the fluid substance present inside the chloroplast is called as the stroma. The thylakoid membranes are arranged one upon another. Their stack is called as the grana. Clear? The grana, these are connected with each other with the lamellae. Clear? See, this is the structure of your chloroplast. Clear? And they are consisting of the pigment, that is chlorophyll. The photosynthetic pigments, chlorophylls, and the carotenoids which are present in the chloroplast. The stroma of the chloroplast has DNA, RNA, and the ribosomes, the fat globules, starch, and a number of enzymes which are present in that. The main function of the chloroplast is the photosynthesis. As they are having their own DNA, circular DNA, and ribosomes, they are also called as the semi-autonomous structure. Semi-autonomous means they can produce their own proteins required for the multiplication. Clear? That's why these are also called as the autonomous or semi-autonomous units. Clear? Like the chloroplast only, the mitochondria also they have their own genetic material. These are also called as the powerhouse of the cell or chondriosomes. They are also called as the mitochondria are 0.5 to 1 micrometer long and appears the spherical or rod shape under the compound microscope. Means this mitochondria is the largest organelle of the animal cell. In plant cell, they are smaller. And are smaller than the chloroplast. The mitochondria appears to be surrounded by two membranes, that is inner membrane or outer membrane. The inner membrane is highly folded inwards and forms a deep grooves in the matrix. Now, even up to the opposite side forming the cristae. The intermembrananeous space is filled with a liquid, and the inner membrane has a large surface area than the outer surface area. Because they contain some particles present on the inner membrane are oxysomes, the respiratory pigment or respiratory particles, or the F1 particles they are also called as. These particles play important role in the electron transport chain of the respiration. क्लियर? रेस्पिरेशन की जो इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसपोर्ट चेन होती है उसमें ये इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं ये F1 पार्टिकल्स और द रेस्पिरेटरी पार्टिकल्स. क्लियर? दिस पार्टिकल्स the matrix of the mitochondria has enzymes for this Krebs cycle and ATP synthesis, protein synthesis, and the fat synthesis, and they also contain their own DNA, RNA, and the ribosomes. This is the structure of your mitochondria. Mitochondria का structure, the outer membrane is smooth while the inner membrane is highly folded inside. This is consisting of the F1 particles. The matrix is filled inside the mitochondria, and they are having their own DNA and the ribosomes inside that. Clear? Certain granules are also present in the mitochondria. See, this is the structure of your mitochondria. Clear? Next organelle is the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is the organelle which is having, or this is of two types, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. We will discuss about this endoplasmic reticulum in next lecture. Okay. Till then, you read the topic, you read the eukaryotic cell, you read the fluid mosaic model, the plastid and the mitochondria. Clear? Now tomorrow we will discuss about some other cell organelles, and if you find any difficulty, any doubt in this particular topic, you can ask me and you can contact me. Okay? Thank you and have a good day.